There we go. For some reason, it wouldn't unmute, and I decided it manually. Good morning, and hello, Alex. Good to see you. It's been a little while. I hope you're doing well. And for everyone else, hello, I'm Farley. This is my channel AdAstraDraconis, and we're playing more Cobblemon today. Specifically, we are gonna try and finish a project I got started last week. One I've had planned for a while. As I just made affiliate with Twitch, I've now made a points redemption, which will allow you to name a Magikarp. Hopefully it's available, albeit for quite a bit of expense. So I'm going to try and do a bit more streaming in the coming weeks, so people have more chances to get themselves a fish name. But this is the pond I was working on. Specifically, we're turning this lake into a dedicated pond. So we added like a reinforced wall of granite all around the edge, except where it runs into this calcite. For the lore of the world, the calcite is considered blessed stone by the villagers here. But it all runs around the edge. And now the only thing I need to do is add a bit more texturing. And add a bit more depth in places, just so that the Magikarps have somewhere to swim. And, you know, on the off chance I feel like doing a bit of fishing, it helps to have a bit of a deeper pond to do so. But we've got some natural depth here, and I like the way that, like, the natural flow of the game brings it down like this. But we can maybe make it a little bit deeper here, change some of the blocks to add a bit of shading. And then back over here, zooming through the water, we could probably make this bit a little deeper, maybe add a bit more sand over here when we've made it deeper as well, to kind of reflect the fact that like the water's worn the dirt down into sand. But yeah, that is gonna be our project today, so thank you for coming along with me. Now, Alex, I'm just discussing story ideas with a friend who's writing a fic. Also, congrats on affiliate. Thank you. And I hope your friend is having the best time writing their fic ideas. Honestly, like, it can be really fun. And it's very easy to get kind of caught up in a, oh no, I don't know what to write, or I'm really stuck on this plot point. But I'm sure, like, having you to discuss it with is going to be super helpful for them. Yeah, so that's what we're tackling today. We're going to add a bit of depth, and then when we're done, oh, don't look at the water. It's my shame. I can't fix it. When we're done with that, depending on what time it is, we'll probably go and do a bit of Pokemon hunting. Because where is my Pokedex? Here we go. So as you can see, we've made some pretty good progress with the majority of the Kanto decks. We're just missing a few here, which are essentially legendary Pokemon, which aren't in the game, and also, which one is it? It is the Dratini line, so we need to find the Dratini line. I'm forgetting what 137 is, and I should remember, but I do not. Let's have a quick check. Kanto, oh, it's Paragon. You would think I'd remember that, like, one of the OG, but apparently my brain is not quite awake this morning. So it is a bit of a sleepy Monday morning, I will warn. But we've pretty much smashed the Kanto decks, and we will be moving on to maybe doing a focus on the Johto decks to get the last of the ones we're missing. Mostly for this, it's like evolved forms, where evolved forms count. So yeah, it's gonna be fun to hunt down the last of these. Like, cause we've got the Typhlosion line, or Pteranotol line rather, but we do have the Typhlosion line too. So you know, all adds out in the end. But we still don't have a Mudkip. We still don't have a Chikorita, which is the most frustrating thing. These two have been the bane of my existence, but we're not. If we're gonna hunt for them, it's not gonna be today. We'll do some other things. We might do a bit of fossil hunting. We'll see. If nothing else, fossil hunting is going to be a really good way to resupply my stock of rooted and coarse dirt, because I'm going to be using quite a bit of that today. So just rearrange the backpack a little bit. And we want 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Because I don't have as much rooted dirt. And funnily enough, the rooted dirt is going to be a little bit of a highlight block, while the coarse dirt is more of a sort of shadow shading block. So to give a bit of an example, I've used it here already, and it isn't super visible at first glance, but I know it's there. But because you can see here, I've got the granite wall. We've got a bit of eroded granite as well, where obviously the water has worn it over time because it's at the lowest point, and also all the mud. Then you've got mud bricks coming down here, so maybe wall bricks have turned really, really muddy over the years. And then you've got the regular dirt, and then you've got a bit of coarse dirt, just adding a bit of shading. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be adding a bit more shading around all the edges where I haven't done it yet. And I think that'll look really nice. And while I did make myself a conduit, I don't have the prismarine to activate it. The general plot of the fic is that the main characters of the medias involved are inside the group chat, which is connected to each other, so they can communicate, get quests, and buy items. And the admins of this chat are characters that me, him, and our friend group have in our roleplay, in which we are outer gods, beings that embody the concepts we govern and are the peak of what they can achieve. God, that's a lot of text. Hey, that sounds really fun. And I hope you're having a good time doing that. Like, that kind of collaborative roleplay in addition to, like, the storytelling. Like, having storytelling sort of play off things that you've been role-playing with its own little world. That is so much fun. That is really cool. Alright, let's see. Let's get stuck in. So we've also got, like, the patches of muddy mangrove. Especially here, I used, like, mud and muddy mangrove directly onto the bridge. Because obviously it's not getting a lot of light here. And I like the effect. It does kind of look almost like there's a bit of shadow. More deliberate shadow. Especially when next to the calcite. And I really like how that came out. So, let's see. I think we will have to go get some bone meal and come along and make a lot of seagrass as well. But for today, we don't need to worry about the seagrass. I think we want to do a bit of the coarse dirt down here. Actually, this one, we're going to make a highlight block because it's right next to, like, the mud. And it's sort of the edge of where the light would be hitting before it hits the mud shadow. So we could do that again here. A bunch of all this popped into here. Some mud bricks we don't need right now. That's regular dirt. Doesn't hurt to have the regular dirt in the back pocket. Though unless I really mess up, I don't think we'll be using very much of it. So that's okay. And I have considerably less backpacks on here than I do for on the obsidian. So right, I just realized suddenly. And that's okay. I like keeping myself organized where I can. Like, so I've got a backpack that's just Pokeballs and stuff to make Pokeballs and a couple of extra bits and bobs. I've got this backpack, which is one of the original ones for when I was traveling around and picking stuff up. So it's got all these boats and then a whole bunch of different things I've gotten from chests. And same with this one. Essentially, I always carry about 3 of them. And this one also has, like, underwater breathing potions and some little doodads. And then this one is a berry backpack for any sort of materials I pick up along the way. But I can also turn this into another collection backpack. And again, this one was just a focus backpack for the materials that I'm using for this project. Other backpacks I have are back in my house, and that includes, like, the one that has all the Pokemon, like, evolution items, Also food, because food is important. I have like almost half a double chest full of cooked salmon, so I'm not going to be starving anytime soon. And then obviously I've got a storage room, like way over where my house is, like directly beneath it, more or less. So I don't, unlike the Obsidian server, I don't need to bring it all with me. Now, so we got here, like, again, it's the rooted dirt, and then you got regular dirt here, turns into the coarse dirt sort of running along here. So I'm going to just change this one. Let's make that a highlight block. Oh. And then along where the mud is here, I want to kind of keep that a little more shaded. And let's use... Oop. Now, it's possible I might run out of these different types of dirt. And if that does happen, what we'll do is go to a couple of biomes where I know there's a lot of coarse dirt to be found. And rooted dirt is going to be maybe a little harder to find, but then I also thought, well, hang on, because we do know where there's at least one or two trees that essentially signal there's a lush cave, like, deep down below. And in that case, it's just going to be easy, like, go find one of those and essentially dig beneath that particular tree, and Bob's your uncle. You're going to be well set. Oh, my character in that story, in the roleplay, is the outer god of fire and creation. Not the snap your fingers and the item is there type create. He can do that, but that's not it. Instead, it's the crafting type, leatherworking, blacksmithing, and so on. Ah! Oh, yeah, the god of crafting, god of creation. That makes complete sense. That's a fun role to be taking as a god. A lot of responsibility, too. Alright, so we've got that around the edge there. We've got it all along here. Now, my thought is, do I want to swap it out the gravel? Because I kind of feel like I do. But at the same time, it kind of makes a nice, like, down trail from the calcite down to the mud. So I'm thinking maybe changing the mud that's directly connected to it to coarse dirt instead. There we go. It's a little darker around it, and then it's normal again thereafter. Again, we've got the clay here, so I kind of want to keep that. But where it is calcite, I have been offsetting that with like an outline of mud, so I do want to continue that as well. Oh, might have broke something I didn't intend to there, but YOLO. Only way to do is to learn. Or is it the only way to learn is to do? One or the other. Yeah, I knocked one of the clay blocks away, but that's alright. And I think we'll change this one out for a highlight block, because the clay is a lighter colour. And then we'll do the coarse dirt a bit higher up, where the mud is. There we go. Like, some of this is going to be extremely subtle. Perhaps too much so for the naked eye, but I kind of know it's there, and it makes me happy to know I've added these, like, extra little details as I've gone along. Alright, so that dirt pile can go there. His compressed backstory has 3 minutes of scrolling. Makes sense since the character's existed since 2020. Very cool. And yeah, it makes complete sense that you'd have like multiple pages after 5 years. So is it a role play you and your friends are really enjoying having? What was it like a D&D group to start, or was it just a text role play online that you just ended up really enjoying and carrying on? I think storytelling is wonderful. Whatever way you choose to do it, whether it's through roleplay or theater or written word or art. Like, is it comics? Is it music? Is it song? Like, there's so many. Woo! A wild Ralts in this village. What the heck? What are you doing here? Oh, I've got to catch you. It's actually rather funny because on the Obsidian Refuge, I have recently spent a very, 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 very long time farming for Ralts. Because we have Cobblemon Unchained there, and I now have 2 100% shiny, 100% IV shiny Ralts. It took many, many catches. I went slightly less crazy than I did over the Magikarp, let's put it that way. And only slightly. I still own... Well, I got more than 2 shinies, but only 2 were 100%. Which is a little disappointing, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, coming back over here. We've got the dirt there. Do we have any dirt? Here we go. Alright, so I want to make this a highlight block. Oh, that's a bit deeper than I intended. Let's fill that in. So I want to highlight there, because there's coarse rooted. Grab the dirt. That looks maybe a bit too... Yeah, no, let's make this a coarse dirt block. And then these could be a highlight block. We're getting all the fighters on the shore today. I don't remember if this is one I definitely have or don't have. Because I've had the entire group, or like Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, Hitmontop. I've had all of them, entire ogre. They've all shown up at some point. Well, let's catch you, because it's not the worst stats in the world. Oh, funny enough, it started me in another meeting in one server, did some roleplay at a different one, which got closed in 2021. I hopped between our previous servers with the same server, with the same character, building up the character and adding a little slowly, and then earlier this year, that initial friend added me to a server about his fic, which I met the others after they joined from there, including the person who I mentioned earlier with the chat fic. That's really cool. I love that. And it's very cool that you're supporting your friend by inviting him. Or rather by accepting his invite and then... well, obviously lending an ear to the story. Is this yep, that's cool stuff. I'm glad you're all getting to enjoy role-playing your characters together and then seeing, like, how is your friend writing sort of the response of the characters in this world to their existence in a way. Alright, so we've got a little bit of a highlight there. I don't like that. I think that's a bit too light. We'll keep that for, like, beside sand. Except there, because that's a step down. Oh, it's getting dark! And one thing we do want to keep an eye out for on the map, because I did not add the mod that announces shinies nearby, which means I need to get back to being more vigilant about my mini-map. And another thing I'm going to need to do is light up around the pond. Because you got your man over there who doesn't deserve the... Oh, there's two of them. Well, they don't deserve a bit of pleasant bit of pond time. I'm not going to have them harassing my Magikarp. Haha. There we go. But where they are, that also means there's probably going to be creepers. For anyone new, who's probably not aware, I have a bit of a history with creepers on this server, in that they will randomly show up and try to explode me while I'm in the middle of doing something. Ain't no one got time for that. So when we're done with putting the dirt shading in, that is something that we're going to figure out some lighting for. Because I think having a couple of light posts either around, which I think is probably a sensible idea, or maybe some sort of light source in the water. In which case, maybe it's going to be time soon to start thinking about, do I want to, like, look into, like, what do I need to make a frog light farm? What do I need to do to get certain other types of light block? Certainly around, I think, on the shore, something I could get a lot of are pumpkins and make jack-o'-lanterns. And then for patches where it's... Oh, got seeking. For patches where it's grass, like, I can then put, like, a moss carpet on top, so they're a bit more hidden. And it's a little less intrusive. But for, like, in the water, like, what would I put instead? It's like, But that is certainly a me problem. But we're not quite there yet to worry about. But I do like... I think I'm going to definitely do the jack-o'-lantern idea. Just because it is a little bit easier and a little more subtle. And it also adds a bit more protective light for these guys. Also saves me on the iron for making the tavern lanterns, which I especially like the look of. And I'm just... I don't think I have the brain to figure out a nice design for a street lamp yet. That is something I'm going to have to do, though, because we are, at some point, going to start, like, maybe making slightly better houses, do some improvements in the town for the villagers. And also because right now I have a mini trading hall of sorts. It could be better. It could be better. But we could do with a lot more lighting around here and a bit more protection for the guys. We got lots of iron golems, but that doesn't mean we can't do better by them. So, hello, Psyduck. Like, I can tell that my choices are good because other fish are showing up en masse to take advantage. So, again, I think I liked having this as a shadow block along the edge here. So that's the coarse dirt in place. And then a highlight block, and then coarse dirt. So we already did that. Yeah, coarse dirt there. Regular dirt there. This one... That's coarse dirt. This one we'll do highlight. Because it's right next to sand and the gravel. Going a bit further down. And it's catching like a ripple of the light. Oh! And just notice we're going to be starting an ad break in a moment. So what this is so people don't have to worry about pre-roll on the server or getting interrupted by many ads, because you know what Twitch is like. They'll do like a string of like 10 ads in a row if they let you. Not as bad as YouTube some of the time, but still bad enough. So what I do is I run ads for 3 minutes, and then nobody gets any ads at all for a good hour. So I'm going to run that in a minute. I'll be right back so nobody misses anything I'm doing in game. And we'll then pick up where we left off. So I will do that now. So now is a good time to go stretch your leg. We'll take a brief break and then I'll be back in 3 minutes time. So let's do that now. And we're back, or we should be. There we go. Ad break over. My be right back was over. I was just grabbing a drink quickly, and I forgot to refill my water, so that was a missed opportunity for me. But never mind, that's on me. I need to learn how to break up text. Well, it's a little difficult because you can't really do paragraphs in Twitch chat. But that sounds really cool in the fic you're talking about. That sounds like a really clever idea. Oh, is that an obstacle? Ooh, obstagoon. I'm pretty sure I have an obstagoon, but let's go double check. And this right here, folks, is how I get distracted from my building projects very easily. Pokemon show up. Yep, we already have one. That's great. So yeah, you don't play regularly on your world for a little bit because you're on a server and your brain just... Oh no, brown cow. You're a bit stuck down there. Let's help you out. You able to claim that? Come on, fella, I'm sure you can. There we go. Well, he ain't one of mine, so I ain't gonna give him a home, but I can at least set him free. Alright, so we'll come back over here, because this is where we were doing a bit of shading. So over there and over here. So again, it was a bit more of the highlight block. So we did the shadow shading there. That's fine. And then I think that one needs to be that one. There we go. There we go. Then, oh no, technically we're doing mud, so I need to be consistent if that's what I'm doing with other patches. So let's grab mud blocks and put those in there. Because we got the sand, we'll then use rooted dirt as the highlight block down here. Coarse dirt here because of the proximity of the mud. We got like coarse dirt going down into a rooted dirt because obviously it's a little bit lighter. Oh. Squirrel brain. Yes, very much squirrel brain. But who can blame me when you've got so many charming Pokemon that could possibly show up? Look, like to populate the pond. Are you going to place a few ranches and put water types inside the ranches? You're going to let Pokemon spawn naturally. This is the Magikarp Pond. Well, regular Pokemon can spawn as they like, and they will, no matter what I do. I'm going to be making pasture blocks. And what will happen then is, as people tune in and watch, you'll be getting points. And you can spend those points for an opportunity to name one of the Magikarp that I have. Where is my bank of PCs? Oh, excuse me. Oh! Where are they? So as you can see here, I've got like one box and technically two and a little bit boxes. These are all Magikarp that are like level 94 plus. Oh, where have these sneezes come from? Excuse me. Alright, so I've got all these Magikarp that are like IV level 94 plus. And so you can redeem points to name a Magikarp. And you can name it whatever you like, as long, obviously it's within Twitch and Minecraft compliance. But I will then put them in the pond and they will have that name forever. And they will live in this pond. And then when I run out of fish, we'll find something else to do names for instead. Alright, let's put that away and get some sleep. As you make a redeem that's slightly more expensive to name a shiny carp when you get a few. Unless I get a wild one, I am not I am not going to be deliberately fishing for a shiny Magikarp ever again. Unless I, like, make a brand new world in the future. And I might, like, there are a couple of mod packs I might want to, like, mess around with that are Cobblemon themed that I might do separate to this one. But this one is going to be kind of a forever world. But I have a shiny Magikarp and a shiny Gyarados that I evolved from the better shiny Magikarp. And he's not 100%, but he's pretty darn cool. He's got Moxie and he's 94% on the IV scale, so I'm very proud of him. And then his less statted up brother, but still decently statted-ish. My pride and joy, those two. Mighty and Finon. They're boyfriends. But they live by my fishing bridge. And I like what we did here. I do think this was a good idea in that the water initially was up to here. And obviously we have this shallow bit which had all the medicinal leeks in. And I kind of like the idea of keeping the leeks because obviously, you know, you've got all the farmers. So, what are you doing, mate? Why are you in the water? You're not very bright. Oh my goodness. But like, this is just like a little farm patch for them to use as they like. And I just like the way it's come out here. So obviously they've diverted a little bit of the water to do that. Not gonna lie, if that Magikarp evolves, they could be the guardians of the pond. They certainly could. I like having one Gyarados and one Magikarp there just to kind of show off like that they are there and how the shiny for the default color of Magikarp looks. Before I started streaming, I still have a single player world that I haven't accessed in a while, which had a lot of progress in regards to Pokemon I caught, and I actually fished up one of the pattern Magikarp, and it was shiny. And the shiny version of it was like a black and white kind of spotted version. So when I evolved it into a Gyarados, it was basically like a Dalmatian in a Gyarados form. You didn't know like what was the natural color and what wasn't. I'm still very fond of it, and if I get another one in future, I will definitely think of a good name. We're going down a step, so we'll make that coarse dirt. And the outside one will make light. Now, if I really wanted to be insane, which I don't, because I do value what little remains of my sanity, I think I could potentially do maybe as like a... I think I'd do it as like a challenge for like charity or something, in that like I would spend time fishing very specifically for requested Pokemon maybe, and if someone wanted to request a pattern Magikarp, that'd be fine. If they wanted a shining pattern Magikarp, I might make that like a higher tier request on a charity stream, but I wouldn't be doing that right now. Because my brain wouldn't be able to hack it. It went completely mad off the deep end with the last time we did this sort of a project. So, alright, so we've got stone here, because we've got a cave there, and we've got a cave down here. Dark and ominous looking cave. But I think we can maybe move a little bit of the stone and replace it with mud. Just a little bit, though. I don't want to take too much away. So do that one, that one. One, two, three. There we go. Let's get a highlight block, and then Where's the dirt? It's in the corner, so that could go like that. And then we got coarse dirt on the corner. We'll do coarse dirt here as well. Just for the step down. So it's a little more subtle, but it's there. I'm gonna grab all the dirt, because there are always going to be projects that need dirt. Also, since you hit your affiliate, you're now on special affiliate wheel I have. Oh! What does this, your special affiliate wheel do? And again, thank you to everyone who's followed along, who stopped into my streams and helped me make it to affiliate. I really do appreciate it. I part of that I know is Twitch did change earlier this year what their rules were for making affiliate. Let's be real, it's so they can make more money off advertisements. I ain't gonna say no. Alright, so we've got the highlight next to the clay, and then going down a step, we'll do that as the coarse dirt, just to emphasize shadow. Oh, and then let's do coarse dirt here. Oh. There we go. Just catching the edge here, so let's do... Yeah, and then coming down here. Basically, whenever I get paid and have enough leftover money to post essentials, I spin the wheel. Whoever the lands on gets 100 tier 1 subs, then take it off the wheel, only added back on when everyone has won. Wow! I can just not do it a month if money is needed. Obviously, never do anything that's going to affect your own bottom line. You need to obviously always take care of yourself first and foremost. But that's such a generous thing to do. Wow, Alex, that is honestly one of such a cool thing. And I am genuinely really grateful that you'd consider adding me to that for your wheel. I don't necessarily have 100 subscribers to add, but I think that's great. And that tells me I need to get some subscriber badges ASAP. I'm still looking around. I haven't found any I like, but although I did see a rather cute set, which are like Eevees and the Evolutions, and then also like the shiny versions. So I think I might grab those at least to start and have those as like the subscriber badges and so on. And then I need to get emotes. There's all sorts of things you don't realize you need to think about until you actually hit affiliate, and it's like, oh no, I don't have all these things that I'm used to on other channels. Where do people get these things? So I may go on VGen and look up if anyone who's taking commissions. Because I've got a couple of ideas. Like, there might be some folks who are already selling some emotes that match what I have in mind. But, you know, on the off chance they aren't, which is probably higher, I don't mind spending a little bit of money to, one, support artists in the community, because we should always support artists in the community. But also, like, to get a very specific thing that I want is always nice. Making it unique for me that nobody else has. Like, I mean, why not? Look at this guy. What do you think you're doing in here? I don't think so. Come back. We're gonna take you out. Then I stop blasting! Ooh! And we got some items. I'll take those. And of course, a Farfetch'd. Actually a male Farfetch'd once. Which, if you've hung around here long enough, you know that we tend to get a lot of female Farfetch'd and Surfetch'd around here. You have a 1 in 15 chance at the moment. I already spun the wheel this month, so next time will be October. Well, so that's really cool. I think that is massively generous. Regardless of who wins, that is an incredibly kind and generous thing you're doing. And thank you for extending the chance for me to have that as well. Alright, so come along here. I think we've got a lot of the highlighting done in places. I'm sure I've missed a bit. So I think we'll do a little bit here. Oh. There we go. Yeah, because it looks a little bit nice, sort of matched up against the sand here. So we've got it in the crook there. I think that would look better as coarse sand. Or dirt. Then... there we go. The L could be that. Yeah, because it just adds a little bit of different pattern. Where the light hits it, you can see it a bit more clearly. But then when we're getting back over to the side here, it's the coarse dirt. So yeah, I like that. I like where this has gone. Right, let's fill these in with... oh. That one doesn't need filling in. We'll do coarse dirt here. Bit of emphasis on the submergedness. Whereas here we'll do highlight block. Then down here, coarse dirt. It's a good bit more submerged, so take advantage of that. There we go. Yeah, I'm glad I'm getting back to this world because I really did like the progress we were making, even though a lot of that progress was extending the map and making way too many waypoints. But I like labeling things because it helps me keep track and remember where stuff is. And with the world gen on this map, it's so pretty. And it's so expansive that you just don't know what you're going to find and where you're going to find it. And so far, it's been worth it, honestly. Alright, let's pop that there. I think... alright, let's put the mud back in there, because we're not going to use that. And we'll put that rooted dirt there. I'm just going to put these a bit further in for a little bit because we want to concentrate on maybe just digging this to go a bit deeper. Kind of matching a little bit of the tiering we had on the other side. And this will be why we need still to have some blocks of dirt because we then hit the blocks of the stone layer. And we're going to be replacing a lot of that. So it's how deep do we want to go? It's the shadows, and there we go. Ooh. So I do feel like I want to go a little bit deeper here. I'll dig this out to kind of finish like my thoughts process and show off a bit what I'm doing, but there's the dirt. So I'll fill that in just there. I keep saying I should add the excavators and then forgetting to add the excavator mod, so we'll have to look that up after stream. Here we go. So now we've hit a stone layer, which means we're going to have to pull that up, but the idea is we wanted just to make this bit a little bit deeper, sort of following the lines of the ground, sort of to match the other side around there, around the bend. Oh, hello, Copperaja. Guess you stopped by to get a drink. Hello, Fancy Axolotl! Welcome to the channel. You join me as I'm doing a bit of work on a Magikarp fish pond. This will be where affiliates, followers rather, can claim my affiliate rewards, which points redemption to name a Magikarp. It's a little bit expensive at the moment because I do not have that many Magikarp. I have enough, but not quite a lot. But they'll all go into this pond, which I have been putting some reinforced walls up last week. We've been adding a bit of shading here, as you can see, with the rooted dirt and the coarse dirt. And yeah, we're just having a good time chatting away about storytelling and writing and Pokemon and Cobblemon. And generally just having a good relaxing time. How are you doing today? Are you working on anything? Are you playing Cobblemon? And obviously, please do not feel obligated to chat away with us if you don't feel like it. But we're just a nice chill group in here. But I don't want anyone to feel like they're obligated. If you just want to lurk, that's completely a-okay too. I love my lurkers. I've been a lurker myself in many a channel. Now, bring this down. It helps because this is also going to add to my andesite supply, which I ran out of at one point, and I haven't renewed. So just making, like, certain areas of the pond a little bit deeper, partially for if I want to go fishing in future. It helps to have a deeper spot, but mostly just to give the Magikarp a bit more room to swim around in. It does mean we'll probably get other Pokemon showing up as well, because that is how Pokemon tend to do. And then, we don't need those there. This can go away. We'll replace that with coarse dirt, because of course we will. Now put regular dirt there. I think this isn't quite following. Oh, well, we can put a bit of coarse dirt here. There we go. And then refill the oxygen. Alright, so I think honestly we don't need to go much deeper. I think a bit too much depth would go too far. But just making it slightly more, or slightly less shallow rather, is a good idea. So we're gonna just put the regular, like a corner of regular dirt here. Nope. And then... So just around here. There we go. So again, just to compare, like, don't want to make this too deep. So I think we'll just replace this layer of stone with sort of the dirt bottom. Maybe with some sand at the bottom. Like, cause we got here, this is what I'm thinking of. We want to have like this like tiered down sort of step down to a base. Oh, excuse me. Coughing and sneezing today and I feel fine. So we're getting on with the building. It feels good to get a project completed, because I've been meaning to do this for a while. And I was putting it off. Even after I got affiliate. But you tend to forget, like, it's so nice to get something done. So I think... Another thing we want to knock off the to-do list will be... probably interiors. I hate interiors, but I'm going to work on them. And we're going to do the interior for at least downstairs in the lab building. So we have the archaeology section all sort of nicely done out. But because, you know, because I'm me, that means we're going to need some fossils. Because I don't have them all yet. So we'll need to find the ones I'm still missing and take care of that. Because I want to have all the fossils on display. But one step at a time, because if I try and start thinking about doing that now, it's going to distract me from this. And we've already seen I am a distractible kitty cat. And nobody needs to watch that, so... And then do. Shadow there. And then doot. Yeah. Those are fine. Those are fine. One more coaster there. That's all fine. Let's get some oxygen. I think... What we might do, actually... let's just see. Where is it? Where is all the sand? There we go. So what I think I might do is... Just here, what the... Where this is, we'll put some sand in. Like, it's just a top layer. We're not going to go too deep with it. We'll make it like a trail of sand coming down. So replace the coarse dirt with this. Ooh. And then this will be the layer that we put a bit of sand down. A little bit here. And then we can have this come across like here. So it's trailing a little bit. There we go. And then we can replace the andesite with dirt. And then we've got that bottom layer that I wanted. So that works. Nope. Nope. And suddenly it's raining in-game. You don't realise just how dark it gets until it actually starts raining. Goodness me. Then that one, and that, and 1, 2, 3. There we go. Let's grab all of these. We want a bit of coarse dirt on the corners here. And highlight block. Maybe we'll see like how this looks in a little bit, because it might be too bright, all things considered, but I don't know that it will be. Oh, regular dirt is out, so let's grab some more. Oh. There we go. That looks much better. Like, it looks not too artificial, but it does look like a little bit of natural progression of, like, sliding on down there. So I'm wondering, like, I might... This there, and there. And there. There we go. And roost dirt. One there, one there. There we go. That looks better. Maybe get the corner one here. There we are. Okay, I like the look of that much better now. There we go. Progress! And we need these there. There we go. And no, putting the highlight block in definitely was a good idea, because look, you got the... You can see a little bit of textured pattern, but because it's right beside the sand, it looks like the sand's mottling in with the dirt. And I like sort of the very natural look that brings. Alright, so I think that is that bit done. Huzzah! So, do I have any bone meal on me, or do I need to go get some? So here's the key part, is adding a bit of life means adding a little bit of greenery. That's a bit much, but we can always come through, trim it, get rid of some. There we go, because it even grows on the mud, which I like. I like that that's doing this, the seagrass is growing on there, on the packed mud, because that looks like this is grown from the moss. And I think that's super important, you know? And then we go a little bit over here, and a little bit over here. There we go. Maybe putting it on, like, the tiered level is actually better, because it spreads it across a little bit better than just doing it on a flat surface. There we go. Then we'll come over here. Do I want to? Because we've already got quite a bit over here that looks fairly natural looking. It's not overwhelming. There's not too much emphasis below, so... There we go. I think it's okay if little bits are a bit more sparse than others for this. Like, I don't want to overdo it. I think that would look really bad. And I think that is more or less the main pond done and dusted. Yay! So now let's go fetch ourselves some pumpkins. We may not have enough, which is a little unusual for me. But again, it's been a little while since I've done work on this world. And let me just check. Yeah, no, that's all working fine. You're not welcome. Go away. Oh, hello. We've got another Dartrix visiting somewhere. Where are you? Are you in the berry patch? You are, aren't you? Where are you? Are you in the tree? No, you're in the nope. Oh, there you are. You silly. Crushing my berries, no doubt. I did learn a little bit about Tom's simple storage, thanks to being on the Obsidian Refuge server. So one thing I will probably do at some point is I need to make some of the stuff that will connect up to here. And then I can put like a control module here that will let me just put everything straight in. I'll need to lock the barrels so that berries aren't in the wrong places, but being able to drop things off automatically without having to find the individual ones will be a win. Whew. Alright, what were we doing? We got sidetracked is what we were doing, because we had a rare spawn. This is our enchanting setup. Aha. Yes, so we want... Let's go grab some of our pumpkins here. Now, it may be that we need to start growing a few more, which, you know, is a thing that can happen. Or we can go find a more extensive berry patch, which I'm not adverse to. Oh, we are missing a seed. Alright, so that needs to be... There we go. Since we have a bunch of bone meal already... There we go, full grown stalk. And it should then grow here. Hopefully, since this is full of wheat already. It is the tiniest pumpkin patch though, and I'm pretty sure we must have other areas that we can go to that have considerably more pumpkins. So we're going to just take a quick look at that. We shall look on the map. Can't go too far out because then you can't see anything. But again, I have a very extensive map, which makes it a little difficult. But it's also one of those things where, like, when you've traveled... Aha! Here, see? I knew I remembered. We have this giant pumpkin patch area. The question is, did I mark any... That's the problem with me, though, is I stopped at one point making more waypoints on the map, indicating, hey, you have a teleport over here. And it would be pretty darn handy if I'd put it either for the town, because this town has a teleport. This town has a teleport, but I don't know what it is, because I didn't label it. But at worst, we'll just have to fly from one of the other forest areas. So, and we even have an archaeology spot we haven't been to. So, all is well. It looks like we are going to be taking a bit of a trip. And then I scrolled out and I lost the place that has the pumpkins, because of course I did. Oh. It is one of those days, guys. It is one of those days. Alright, so it's close proximity to, well, quote-unquote close. But we've got a prairie, we've got plains, we've got the Pumpkin Valley, which is what we're interested in. We've got Skyrise Vale, we've got a Forgotten Forest with a Forgotten Civilization ruin in it as well. So, all told, we got some interesting stuff. And we also got Chemical Tower, and we got Pokemon ruins as well. Let's see, 'cause most of the stuff when I was exploring, and it's over there, this tends to be lower on the list. So let's go all the way. I have many, many waypoints. Mystic Forest waypoint. I don't think that's the one. Curled Pool Shore. Rainforest. Coconina Isle? No. Cambria. I don't remember what that is. Metatower. Bulbasaur Hunt 1. Let's do Exploration Northwest 1. Oh, it's an Absol. The Absol is mine. Oh, you're not very good though, so you will not be mine. Where are we? Oh, we're all the way up here. Alright, so let's create a waypoint. North Explore waypoint. Northwest Explore waypoint. Good to know. Alright, this is a little too far to the northwest. It's past all this ice, so we want to come back a little bit. It's buried, so that's Northwood Hot Spring Spot, Atlas Village. Where is Atlas Village? Ah, it's this one! Okay, so this is Atlas Village. Waypoint. Where are we in proximity to that valley? Oh, we're not that far away. That's cool. Alright, so we're going to fly south. So we're going to go over the cherry blossoms. Well, it doesn't look like this town has a waypoint, but this one definitely does. And I want to double check what the name is. Because once I can then mark that on the map for future visits. But like, this is like a cute village that's like spread between like the two halves. And I just really like the way that this particular mountain range looks. It's just really fun. Alright, 1 week. It is time for you to earn your keep, son. We're going to the south. Again, it's like you got this really interesting drop there. And from what I was doing earlier, like you can see here, like the sort of the tiered down way that the water goes. So I could probably actually do like little spots built up of dirt in the pond. Sort of taking inspiration from what's already out here in Minecraft, because I think that works really well. Welcome back, Alex. Good to have you back. And then we got more dips and drops around here with this forest. It sure would be nice if a Chikorita were to spawn around here. Hint, hint, Game World. Are we that lucky? No. we've been lucky before on other things, so you never know. And we know the waypoint now that's quite close by, which helps. Oh, hello. No, no, no. We're not going to get off track because we know where there's loads of pumpkins. But here is one of the villages. And there. Oh no, this is the village I was thinking of. This is the one with the teleport. So let's double check the name. Waypoint, mark it on the map. And then we can raid the pumpkin patch. So this is Mir with 3 E's. Mir waypoint. Good. So now we got that for the future. Oh. What in the world? But since we're going to need quite a few pumpkins for lighting up around the base, and I don't have enough saved, for very obvious reasons, this is as good a place as any to stock up. Like, I don't want to take too many, but I don't think it's going to matter too much to the world if I just like take maybe like bits and bobs from different stacks. It must be fun to see what kind of Pokemon spawn over here. Oh, in that Fix server I mentioned, my friend made an event where every other Sunday they'll be open to discuss his fit with people in, and they get to put in suggestions. Such 12-hour events so people can pop out and back in free. That's exciting. I like that, and like. I like that your friend is engaging with feedback and also with, like, taking contributions from friends for their work. Like, it says a lot, like, that you're all engaged, you're all excited to join in with what they're doing. And they're clearly excited to hear your feedback and to take some inspiration. Or at least to hear, like, hey, I don't think my character would do that, or hey, like, it'd be cool if the characters think it's this when it's really this, or maybe they discover this one particular facet or what have you. Like, obviously, I don't know the story, and that's fine. But like the fact you have that opportunity and your friend is willing to make that happen, like, I love that. I think like there is an art to collaborative storytelling online that, like, there are some communities that will never known that joy, and I think that's a shame. I hope more people take time to, like, write and share their writing, whether it's original stuff, whether it's roleplay stuff, or, you know, fan fiction. Fan fiction is completely valid. Everyone should cut their teeth on fan fiction at one point or another, in my opinion. Authors of the community service should do that. Maybe for bigger authors, it would obviously be with certain people. Yes, like, for proper published authors, that's a little harder because you run into the sort of the legal issue of, well, if I do this, and I take too much information from this person, will they sue me for using this idea because they gave it to me and they have, like, this in the Discord? Like, unfortunately, that can be a risk. But then, like, I think, who is it? Is it Brent Sanderson? I'm gonna have to look up who it is. Not Brent Sanderson. Oh, I know there's a case of one author where, like, they were doing, like, challenges, I think either on I think it was in a forum, or just like a regular writing forum rather than a Discord. And people were, like, doing, like, different, like, saying, like, hey, do this combination and see what you can come up with, and trying to stump him, or, like, stump each other, because I think it was, like, a collective group. And I think it was, like, one of the suggestions to this guy who was an author was Pokemon crossed with the lost Lost Legions of Rome, which is a very old bit of Roman Empire history. And the author kind of went radio silent for a while. And then when he did finally pop up again, he was like, yeah, this kind of ballooned and took off on its own, and now it's going to... I've had ideas to make something use of it. Obviously not Pokemon specifically, but the idea it spawned, like the suggestion spawned, ended up being a published idea, which I think is pretty cool. And of course, he I believe he did give like credit and to the original source of getting inspiration, which I think was very cool of him. But all right, there we go. How many is that? 78. That's a little bit more than I actually need, but it's good to have like some backups, because you never know when you might need to make more lights in future. All right, what village? All right, so this actually, funnily enough, is... We were coming through here looking for Chikorita, as we do, because, you know, we've got a temperate grove, we've got an allium shrubland, we've got an orchard, we've got a prairie, we've got plains, and we're like, this is perfect. We surely will find a Chikorita somewhere in one of these flowering biomes. Dear viewer, we did not find a Chikorita in one of these flowering biomes. But what we did get was a wild Sylveon that came loping out of the Forgotten Forest from the ruins of the town that's there, the little city that's on the map, which is this one here. This is a little ruined town that's specific to the Forgotten Forest with this mod pack. And, oh hey, it's a Scorbunny. Why is it always a Scorbunny? I don't dislike you, but I would really like a Chikorita. Like, for reals. For reals, I would like a Chikorita. Can you hook me up with one? No? No, I did think you could. Okay, yep, 1 week did get there. That's fine. Excuse you. What do you mean it's not my turn to act? How does that work? Okay. It's a bugged bunny. Alright, let's take a boat. I'm going to put you in the boat, Sunny Jim. And then I'm going to run away. Alright, battle was fled. Oh, and we've got an ad break coming up, so that'll be something to take care of shortly. Oh, why are you doing this to me, you stupid rabbit? There we go. Alright, so we'll do Grasp of Soul. And we're also going to sleep, because sleep good. And since it's my world, I'm the only one who can change it back to today. Ah, Scorbunny is asleep. Excellent. That is what we wanted. And you are under level compared to me, so let's grab Trusty Level Ball as well. Alright, like, it gives engagement, authors get diverse ideas, fans feel included, there's more to spot errors, and if it's fanfic, there could be more people to notice if a character should act that way in a situation. Yeah, like, for writing communities for fanfic and such, like, that's a different kettle of fish to, like, a proper published author and their own personal worlds. Fanfic worlds based on properties, are really fun to write for. Obviously, there's always the grey space of, like, well, what's acceptable to write? And I'm not going to get too much into the weeds there, but there's something about writing fic and collaborating and, like, getting feedback and giving feedback and even just spitballing ideas, and that's really fun to do because at the heart level, even if you're not a writer, even if you're not an artist, all humans are storytellers of some kind or another. Even if you think, no, I'm not, it's like, no, everyone has a story to tell. And I think a love of stories is something that's very unique to humans. So, oh, and we've got another ad break coming up, so I'm going to run that now. And I will be right back. So we have that 3-minute break that lets us not have to worry about a pre-roll ad for anyone coming in. So I will be right back. And we're back. There we go. And an Eevee spawned, so I put it in a boat, and then a mill tank decided to join it in the boat. So, you know, that is a thing that happens sometimes. We have a wild Pidgeot on the map that briefly confused me. So let's take out this guy first. And these guys, like, I'm always impressed that these guys are so tanky, even like at a big level disadvantage. Yay, we flinched it. Actually, one thing I'll do is make this a bit bigger. So that'll make it a little bit easier to read on screen. There we go. Ah, yes, everyone has a story to tell. Everyone has a method to tell said story, but not everyone finds that method. That is very true. And I do think there is an element of, like, it's sad to say that I think that there's a bit of lost storytelling art because of the devaluation of creative writing, of English, and of storytelling, and of the creative arts in general in schooling and such. I know that's the case in the UK. They're trying to correct that here in Ireland, but it's always sad to see, like, these are things that are being sort of slowly whittled away, like the humanities, which I think is really telling that an entire school of education called humanities is the one that's being sacrificed on the altar of things that are going to be more quote-unquote professional and necessary for your job in future. But I hate oats sometimes. Why is Eevee always such a troublesome Pokemon to just get in the Pokeball? Oh, we even have another Eevee across the river. Excellent. Right, let's hopefully catch you with Sleep Powder. It missed. Of course it did. Like, knowledge is being put ahead of creativity. It should, but not to the extent where creative is being erased. Precisely. Like, it is the loss of play. And I think that's the key thing. It's why so many people find joy later on with things like playing D&D or playing games that involve roleplay of some kind. It's because they're refining the joy there is to be had in play, specifically play where they are the ones contributing in the creation side of things, you know? And I think that we have opportunities to fix that, and I think there is a bit more of a push to try and help with that. But also I think one of the lost kind of ways of telling stories is the collaborative method of speaking out loud and sort of discussing it. So that's kind of what you were, sort of to go back to what you were saying earlier with having the feedback in your Discord. One thing we used to do in one fandom Discord we were in, we would do, like, we'd sort of joke around with sort of, we called them crack ideas. It's like situations that would, you know, never actually happen in canon, but like, hey, what would happen if this occurred? Or let's remix the universe and drop these characters in it. Like, how does this being like a cyberpunk world change things? Or we add this element that doesn't exist in the original text, and then we just sort of josh together, and people would just run with ideas of, hey, this is what happens in this universe, and it's always really fun. Because there would be a certain element of, no, we're not taking this too seriously, so we don't have to let ourselves worry about being true to, 100% true to canon. You still want to be able to recognize the characters, obviously. And then part of that then turned into, well, like a discussion of, hey, how do you think this character might react to X, Y, or Z situation? And then you'd hear, like, different, like, people sort of speak up and say, well, from the way I've read this character's behavior in this circumstance, I think this would be a way that could happen. And then other people would agree, or other people would go, well, no, I don't know. Like, this example gives an idea of, like, if it was early on in their character arc, they might act this way. But, you know, if they've got all the development at the end of the show, they'd probably react very differently. And, that engagement with the story, the engagement with the characters, I think there's a lot to be had from learning to engage in storytelling and learning to, really sort of read through something and see how someone grows. and not always positive growth. I think sometimes negative growth is really interesting to see in action as well. Speaking of DD, I might make a homebrew religion with my friends RP outer gods in a pantheon with subclasses of warlocks, clerics based on each outer god. That's very cool. Do it. Even if you never end up using it, the fact you have it's really good for storytelling because it gives you yourself like a much better idea of, well, how would interactions with my character as my god character, how would that trickle down to those who worship him, like those who enter his service deliberately, like priests. Would that be different from a regular cleric? Is a cleric like, are they someone chosen at random, or are they someone who are put forward by the priesthood? Like, and like for the different crafts, is there something different? Like you could go all in all sorts of really interesting ways. And I hope you have a load of fun hashing that out if you do that. I think that would be a lovely idea, honestly. Alright, so we have 47 torches. That should hopefully be enough, because we've got a good 70-odd pumpkins. Which means we're going to be using up our shears by quite a bit. So, let's go here. It always amuses me, like, I've had gravelers spawn over here before, which is... where did you come from? Like, is it you just really like my wall? Is that what this is? Alright, it has to be, right? Let's do Giga Drain. But no, I've done this year some short writing courses, and I need to actually make myself carve out proper time to make use of the things I learned from them, because I really enjoy writing and I really enjoy creating, and I think I could do more of it. And even if it's like ends up like the goal is, it'd be nice to, you know, someday maybe consider being published, maybe in a different time and place. We'll see. But like having something fully written is a goal I have, just because I just really enjoy it. And being able to share like original works with friends would be also really nice. Alright, so we're getting these carved pumpkins to turn into jack-o'-lanterns. And then once we've got a set amount, there we go. And yep, so we've got 28. I believe that should be enough. But you never know. There we go, 28 jack-o'-lanterns. Which means we need to go down here. Because we need to find the moss box. So this one. So got some pale moss carpet, not what we need. We did pick up some more. It's got this moss carpet. Do I have more over here? We got here. Just, I'll have to go through and tidy up the mess that are these two bags. Right, let's put that in here. And then we'll take a bunch of the carpet here. We don't need 48 though. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now, the fun thing with jack-o'-lanterns is you can put them in a place like this, doop, and then what we want to do, and we'll put that away in there, is we could put moss carpet on top, and it's a little darker green than the green here, which is not much I can do about that, but it still kind of lightly covers it so that it still shines its light around, but it doesn't look quite as out of place as it would otherwise. So we'll do that again here. Hopefully that's not too far out, because I think there's like a range of either 5 or 7, but I think it just about crosses the line there. So let's do here. There we go. Because it's next to a path block, you can kind of see the orange there, which I don't really like. So let's do this one. There we go. And then we've got the dirt, and we can put that there. There we go. So it's slightly more hidden purely because this is also a grass block and not a path block. And what we can do is maybe... No. I'll put it in the corner. There we go. We got a lantern there, so technically that should be enough coverage, but doesn't hurt. Oh, fun fact about the structure, there are several layers in it. Then a bit out we have the true outer, which is where our newly ascended members are. Then we have the outer, members with average strength and considered to be around for most of existence. Then we have the elder outer gods. There's only 3 there. My character being among them. He's also the oldest since he was created an incalculable amount of time before time even existed and was the first born being. Ooh, that's cool. I do think it's interesting that, like, one of the very first gods in that little pantheon is the god of creating. The god of creation. Which, I suppose, if he's responsible for the creation of worlds and such, makes complete sense. Let's do one here as well, just to have the extra coverage. Now I've started doing this, I'm beginning to think, maybe this isn't enough pumpkins. We'll have to wait. Oh, that went a bit too far. Okay. 1, 2, and then... Let's turn the pickup off for now, because we don't really need that. So this might be a little far. So we've got that there, so let's do one here. And we've got a torch up here, but let's take that away. So I have a better idea now that it's slowly getting darker, like whether or not we'll need to put in specific things somewhere. Like, you can see here, like, where the lighting is. Like, it definitely casts in spite of the fact that it's got a moss carpet, because it's not a full block at all. But it lets you keep it covered up, which I like. I do kind of wish you could change the color, like moss carpet color a little bit, maybe to adapt to the biome you're using it in. But it is also moss, not grass, so you take what you can get. It'll look a little off because of the biome. That's fine. It be what it be. It doesn't have the widest range that it's less of a wide range than I thought it did, which could be a potential problem down the line. But we'll see as we come along. But, like, you can already see, like, how much better that looks in terms of lighting. There's already a good bit here. So might need to just... No, that's still quite close. So put one here. We're definitely going to need to make some more. And that's okay. And it's still a little dark here, but it's not too terrible. If needed, we can put one there like that. Just to have a bit of torch go. I am arachnophobic. So this guy, I'm not a fan. But we will need them for the Pokedex, so we'll just use up a few of the Safari balls, because why not? It is what they're there for. But yeah, you can already see the difference, like just from here, of where putting the like the pumpkins down for the lighting, like it looks better than torch spam, you know? And I think that's really important when you're wanting to keep an area nice and clean and tidy. Hey! There we go. Safari balls did the job. And we are definitely not... We definitely don't have enough jack-o'-lanterns, so... let's see... We'll need to make some more in a minute. Oh, so we did get back black sludge. Interesting. Okay. Ultra ball, you can go in there. Lava ball, you can also go in there. Yeah, like already I'm seeing like an improvement in just having something there for light. So I might put on the corner there. There we go. That's already just added a tiny bit of light to this edge that wasn't there before. And... Hey, thank you for taking care of the trouble. And let's also just add one here as well. It's a little bit of extra light. Adds a little bit of extra protection. And no one can say no to that. There we go. Looks like we can like take these away and then you can see the drop already in the sort of the shadows and such. So if we do like that's already adding so much more light to this section. Nope. Go away. Go away, Mr. Creeper. I was putting all these lights out specifically to deal with people like you. No! Oh well. Fortunately, I have lots of blocks and I have lots of bricks still, but 'tis a pain when this happens. Oh, we lost... I think we lost one. Oh, no. C'est la vie. Where is it? There we go. Let's do another cracked brick. Because, you know, it got exploded. There we go. Why is that like that? There we go. Looking straight at it and then missing it. There we go. All repaired. A little bit of cracked brick maybe indicating that, hey, maybe there was a bit of damage at some point. I can't imagine why. And then we'll put a new pumpkin here. No, not pumpkin. Jack-o'-lantern. And we'll put this there. Bit of a pain, but kind of inevitable that that was going to happen at some point. But I keep forgetting that the creepers can move really fast, and they're the ones who decide what is the place for their explosion. Oh well. So really, I set myself up to fail with that one. Oh. Oh. There we go. Oh no, we do have the... Oh no, we've got the granite box I picked up from that row there. There we go. So that should come along here eventually, fill it all out as grass again. And that's what we want, so that's fine. Let's get some sleep that we should have done earlier. And then I'll make some more jack-o'-lanterns. But yeah, no, I like putting the jack-o'-lanterns down. Again, it's already so much better than having a whole bunch of torch spam. I only wish, like, hang on, let's just take a look. How much paler is the pale moss carpet versus this? Oh no, that's way too grayscale. There'll be a time and place for it, but it ain't here. We want to... I think we want to make a few more torches, so let's... Where is our coal supply? Oh, we've still got plenty there, so that's fine. Oh, you can make a large pumpkin. Cool. Not what we need, though. And then we want sticks. Do I have any? No. 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 So I think it's down we go. We need to get more carpet anyway, so we'll do that first. Let's grab a bunch of that. Take too much, that way we're covered. And then where... Oh, wood is here. Do I have any sticks? No. So we'll make a bunch. There we are. So that's plenty. Put those there. And then we'll go up top to make more jack-o'-lanterns. Oh, was that? Oh, more. Okay, basically after my character was born, siblings followed suit after, infinite animals, each with elemental concept associated with them. Unknown amount of time later, a sapling appeared in the nothingness made of stars, galaxies and such. Its appearance made everything feral, and an all-out war occurred, resulting in a very bloody conflict, leaving 6 survivors. At which point they were sane once more, the bodies used to nurture the sapling, which then sprouted a forest. Each apple contains a multiverse. That's a really interesting way of setting up your universe. And apples being a seed for multiverses. That's really clever. I like that. I'm a story I've been sort of slowly putting together, at least ideas for a good few years, and it's the one I'm going to try to start writing using the stuff I learned in my classes. Is so well, I love dragons, and I think there's all sorts of interesting stories featuring dragons, both like in things like D&D, but also across the board in fantasy and fiction as well. But there are a couple of things where it's, well, we know in, like, obviously things like D&D, like, dragons are extremely powerful, and, you know, they can take whatever form they like, and, like, that is also something that happens in some mythology across the world, but in others, like, across Europe, you generally, dragons are seen in legends and such as being very fierce creatures. They don't see a need to disguise themselves. Whereas in, like, some Eastern cultures, like, dragons can take the form of humans and hide among them, and both for good and for ill. And you get that in D&D as well. Like, how many green dragons and black dragons and blue dragons have disguised themselves to hide amongst humanity and be, like, proper big old villains. You've got a sort of example of that with the Warcraft universe, to use a video game example of with the black dragonflight often disguising themselves as humans in order to mess with humanity because they can. Of course, there's always the excuse of the old gods told them to, but, you know. Sometimes you can just let a villain be a villain, and that's okay. But for my story, sort of taking a little bit of that in a bunch of dragons in their prime were captured and sealed away. Oh, hello. We got a Quilladin. And their souls were separated from the draconic forms, so they now have human avatars. And one of them is now on a journey to locate where they hid their form, and so they can recover it. And it's sort of the part of the mystery is, why were they sealed away like that? Who did the sealing? Because obviously it's easy to say it was done by humans, but was it though? And if it was, what encouraged those humans to do it? And then getting to think about, well, in a world like that where there are dragons, like, do dragons have gods? Are dragons gods? Do people think dragons are gods, but they're not really? And then you get things like, well, all right, well, if you've got dragons, is there magic? How does the magic system work? is there a logic to it? Or are the rules are that anything goes? Like, I love thinking about that. There we are. But the dragon, who's the focus at least of the initial story I'm writing, is a very fierce but very cheerful female black dragon who is also, at least her human guise, is a mercenary. And she's very, very good at fighting. And it also gave me a chance to think about, well, what is a god of war? What are different aspects of war that gods can represent in a fantasy setting? And how does that work if a dragon is perhaps not a vessel for the gods, but might be like they have a god as their patron? Like, how does that work in this universe? How does that affect humans? How does being captured and having their draconic self split into like with the soul split away into it like a human avatar to imprison them? Like, how does it all work? Why was it done? What do they have to do to locate their body and then get back into their body? And of course, you need, for that kind of thing, you need I find it helps to have like maybe a human viewpoint character, and the ancestor of a human they once employed to essentially keep and breed a flock of sheep for them, because this dragon really, really liked mutton. And very specifically the mutton of sheep from this one mountain range in their territory. And so they quite literally paid a human to keep this herd of sheep, this flock of sheep rather. And like, what happens when a human saying they're a dragon shows up and can prove that they were the original patron, but it's been hundreds of years? Like, what are the consequences of that? What are the consequences of denying that person, that dragon person, what they're due? Like, there are lots of little things that I've been thinking about, so. If anyone else wants to join in while we're talking about creative stuff from writing and storytelling, please do. You're very welcome to. We're just having a good old natter about creative projects. And I love hearing about it. Like, if you're someone who is playing Cobblemon yourself and you're thinking, I want to do storytelling in my Cobblemon world, or in general in Minecraft, I would love to hear about it, because I'm definitely wanting to do a bit more storytelling in this world. It could do with it. But it's also kind of a slow-going process, which is also fine, you know? It doesn't have to be... I'm not in a rush. This world isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Did I use up all my pumpkins? After all that? Oh my goodness, I think I did. I might have to go back and get more pumpkins. Whoops. But we can already see like a marked improvement in terms of lighting, at least on the shore. We might need to get some sea lanterns and or other things for in the water. Which is fine. It's fine. Oh, hello. And because we're using pumpkins, we're getting a few phantoms showing up as well. Which I don't mind. I think they're very charming. But yeah, so being careful of creepers. Like, putting those around, we'll take the torches away. But I think, well, except for that one. I think that looks a lot better in terms of just having this area lit up. Again, like, if you could change the color of the moss to match, like, the grass around it, that would be amazing. But you can't, so I won't. But it gives just that little bit of lighting around the edge that makes the area just a little bit safer. And I like it. I think that's coming along great. And I don't actually have to go anywhere. I keep forgetting I have a sleeping bag. Use it. There we go. I'll put those over there, and we'll put this in here. Oop. Genuinely did not expect to run out of pumpkins. I thought 72 would be enough, but evidently not. We've got a wheezing here. And back over here. Oh, pumpkins have grown back since here, so we can at least grab a couple. Oh, hello, Ditto. I see you. These still haven't grown back. That's not great. Oh, that one grew back quick. Right, Ditto, where are you? Let's check you out. Oh, not the best stats, mate. I've got better. But since you're here, Moonblast. I do think one of the funnier things to happen here was I'd just been working, enchanting a few things. I looked up and there was a giant Corviknight just sitting on the top there looking at me. It's one of the fun things about having a Cobblemon world, in that you can just randomly have Pokemon show up. Oh, where? Oh no, I do have pumpkins. I knew I had them somewhere. I am blind as a bloody blat. That is what I am. So we don't need to go running off yet. Alright. I think these shears are going to be done for by the time we're done. That's all them. Not quite all done, but getting there. Then we want to chop, 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 chop. And we're going to need some more moss carpet, so we'll get that in advance. Any jack-o'-lanterns we don't use around the lake, we can then save for another day. There we go. Getting it done, getting it done. Like, I'm liking how it's looking around the lake now that we've added those lights. So I may go through the village and put just a few more down in the patches where it's extra dark for extra protection. Like, You can never have too much protection from creepers, you know? And other dangerous mobs. But mostly creepers. So we'll do that now. Just a couple of spots. If it means more phantoms, yay for me. Although that might be a bit close. Yeah, that's a bit too close. No, I turned that off. That's fine. Do I want to put one in the middle here? I feel like I should. Because then I can push this one over one. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Then... just to have that little bit of extra coverage, just in case. Is that there? And then... okay, so back to going around the edge, because we don't want to spend too long applying these elsewhere. So we're going to run out of these as we go, which is never a good thing. Okay. So if we've got bits like this where it's just pure white, not going to have the kind of the coverage that the other sections have. If I do like here, there we go, that's a little bit more light up there. And we got, because the light here, that should be enough. And then here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's coming around here. Let's do here. And then we've got that there, but let's also do over here just for a little bit of extra coverage. So we've got one there, and then I think, so just put one there. Put one up here. Okay, then we're coming back over here. It's got that there. Do I think we need to come up here, maybe? No, we're going around the edge first. That is a lot of lore. Just quickly having a quick scroll through the back there. So the sixth survivor with Dragon of Fire, my character, the Wolf of Lightning, Kitsune of Air, the Gecko of Earth, Crane of Water, and Cat of Light and Dark. Ooh. And that's those are some really cool origins. Thank you for taking the time to share that with me. Like, it's obvious that you've really had a lot of fun developing that over the years. And the fact that your friend is using them in their story is really cool. So let's do this for a moment. And oh! Well, I guess somewhat... Well, oh, those stats are terrible. No, thank you. Well, let's remove you from the ultra rare spawn bucket. I definitely have some better versions of you. But bye now. What is a Lilligant doing over by the wasteland? I guess they're lamenting how terrible it looks. Like, I didn't initially intend to settle so close to the wastelands. It just ended up being a really convenient spot, as these things usually end up being. So, right, let's also put one up here just for a bit of extra light coverage. I think that's good. Although, actually, I'm going to move that here. Screw it. And we're almost out. Again. That's on me. But I think what I did was good. So, no regrets. We just have that last little bit around the corner here to fill in now. So, let myself float and drown. And we'll do a quick flyby. Like, again here. Adding it around the back of this house, good idea. Like, it's hopefully enough light that danger won't immediately spawn. But we got up here, that's lit up now, that's good. Still got a dark patch here. Not a great deal we can do about that. Maybe move this one over here. And then we can put maybe something in the corner down there. Oh, we got drowned. In addition to me potentially drowning. So, where'd you go, buddy? Where'd you go? Well, evidently far enough away. Let's eat up. This was just one night, drunk out of my mind, so at the morning after and was like, let me tweak it this to be good. I honestly, sometimes that happens. Sometimes you just need a stream of consciousness where you're not letting yourself get too caught up in what feels good, bad. And you just gotta let your mind roam and let yourself ramble. And then you can come back to it afterwards and tidy it up. This little guy out in the dark. Oh, not the worst stats. Not the best stats, but not the worst. And guy goes back in the Pokeball. Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with how the pond looks, how the water looks around here. We added a little bit of shading in places. Like, you can even see it in the dark. Like, it's subtle, but it's there. And then we've put in a bit of the grass here. We've done a bit of the depth. And I think adding this trail of sand was the right way to go, because it breaks up the monotony of the dirt. And maybe we can put a little bit of this, and where is the the sand. Let's grab some sand as well, and then we can do... Because we saw there were like little sort of rises of sand in the other lakes, so there we go. There we are. Maybe there's... No, that's fine. I like that. I like that. Hello, Joltik. Flower there, and then arrows and bones. So now, really, the next thing is to figure out where do we put the pasture box for the Magikarp. I don't know about you, but that kind of feels like it might be an important detail. So maybe we can put it like beside the wall here, or do I just put it deep in the water itself? I mean, ultimately they'll spawn above it, but we could also do like another one of these, but have like the sand around it to kind of disguise it from above so it's not super obvious. But I think for now, that is where we're going to leave it, because we've done a fair chunk of change of work. And, oh, we got a Quilava. Let's go check your stats. I have so... This is Quilava country, honestly. 69. Nice. Why not? Hey. I think the only thing we didn't find this stream was a shiny Pokemon, but that's okay because we have plenty of other streams where that can happen. And we did get like 2 back-to-back on 2 different days last week, so can't be too greedy. Yes, I shall call it there for today. We have finished the Magikarp Pond. Yay! Emphasis on the yay. And I'll need to get maybe some more pumpkins. I can do that off stream. And then tomorrow we will do... we'll bring the wheel back. And we'll go hunting. We'll go hunting for Pokemon tomorrow using the... Where's that Cobblemon spinning wheel? And then hopefully we can have some fun with that. So, thank you to everyone who stopped by, who's just enjoyed the stream. I hope you've been able to chill out. I hope you've enjoyed like me and Alex talking about creativity and storytelling. Alex, thank you for spending time with me in chat today. It's been lovely having you, as always, and be able to just have a good natter about creativity. I've loved hearing about your friend's story and how your god's story that you've developed over the last few years has added to that. And perhaps we'll do some more talk about storytelling next stream as well. But for now, I'm going to call it a day. I'm starving. I need to go get something to eat. And so enjoy your lunchtime or your breakfast or your dinner, depending on where you are in the world. And I will see you all tomorrow. Take care now.